Welcome, guys, to the Milk Room podcast. We've got Greg. I'm Flyp. And then introduce yourself.
I'm Wikum.
This is Wikum Silva, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I know Greg knows you, but I'm just having the pleasure of meeting you now. And so I want to know, as somebody who doesn't know anything that you do, what you do.
I do a lot of things. So I am a videographer. I'm a director of photography at a production company. So we work on like music videos, live events. And then I also do like 3D art, and I'm an NFT artist. I don't know if you know what that is.
Okay, so NFT is like it's like the new thing that I need to educate myself on. So it's basically like paying to use online.
So it's pretty much, so what NFT stands for is non-fungible token, right? So the technology comes from Bitcoin. I'm sure you know what Bitcoin is. Yeah, so a Bitcoin is digital currency. Can I copy and paste? Like if I had one Bitcoin, can I copy and paste it and make two? No. So like how does it make that possible? And it uses a thing called non-fungible tokens to make it so that like if I have one Bitcoin, that's it. I'm not like gonna copy and paste it, or else all of it would be worthless, right? So an NFT takes that technology that makes it so you can't duplicate something and attaches it to art. Because as a digital artist, it's like kind of hard to make money the same way like a painter does, because like Monet or like I don't know, like the Mona Lisa, like you can't, the Mona Lisa is almost like priceless. Like you can't copy that, right? Even if you like took the best scan of it like possible, like it's still not the real Mona Lisa. Versus if I made like a graphic design or like a 3D art or even like a video, you could just download the file and you have the exact same thing. So I can't sell it for like a unique price. So what NFT allows you to do is make it so that, okay, this digital file is unique. You can't copy paste it. Well, you can, but everybody knows what the real one is. And
you're gonna get in trouble if you...
You would get in trouble the same way as if you took a picture of the Mona Lisa. It's like, cool, you have a picture of it, like whatever. Like it's not like the real one. You know?
So wait, people are making big money in the NFT space, right? Like I read like a 14-year-old just sold an NFT for like $400,000. Like big things are happening in that world, right?
Right. So like my favorite artist is named People Crap. I know it's kind of a crazy name, but he like has he did this piece where he has been making a piece of 3D art every day for the past 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And even before this, he's been like selling NFTs for like 10, 20 grand, 60 grand. But he made this one piece that was a collection of every single work he's made every day for the last 10 years. And it was like all of them. And he sold it for $65 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, 10 years ago, what were we using? I guess it was still Photoshop. It wasn't that long ago, huh? This is the thing, guys. I still think the 90s were like not almost 30 years ago or 30 years ago. And so 10 years ago, we were just using Photoshop. So it really is this whole new space. I remember Paint.
Right.
Like on
Paint.
On like my parents' old Dell computer. It's like I go on Paint and like pixel art, and like that would be pretty amazing if somebody had known this was going to be the future. Yeah. And it was like, here's my Paint art. I saved all those files.
Right. I wish I knew.
10 years is great. Right. Me too.
Like if I knew, I would have started doing 3D art like a lot earlier. And all these artists that are really big now have been doing it before NFTs, and now they're just like totally like profiting off of like.
So wait, how'd you learn 3D art?
Self-taught. Like I taught all myself. I went to film school in college, but I learned mostly everything on YouTube, to be honest. Like if you want to learn something, just learn on YouTube. Like you don't have to pay thousands.
So what are you using, Blender?
Yeah, I'm using this 3D program called Blender. I use a little
I've
bit
never
of Photoshop.
heard of that actually.
It's new and it's free. It's a 3D, it's an open source 3D art program. And I taught myself on YouTube. Just like I taught myself Photoshop in the 6th grade because I wanted to turn my eyes red like an anime character.
Right.
And I like pirated it. Yeah. I like got it. I got like this like ghetto disc like that had like because it was like $700 at the time.
Yeah.
Now it's like cheaper, but now I pay for it. But like I've been in the digital art game for a minute.
Love it.
Yeah, I've just been obsessed ever since I was a kid.
So what platform do you sell your NFTs on?
I use OpenSea, but I'm gonna hold back on selling them because I want to like gain more online traction in cloud and sell them for a higher price at a later time. Like I don't want to undersell it right now. Like I think they're more valuable than what they would sell for right now. So I want to just like keep them and build more hype and then drop everything.
I love it.
So this OpenSea, is that what it's called?
OpenSea.
Almost OpenSea. Is that kind of like a Spotify almost for digital art? Or
yeah, so it's like a marketplace. So it's like there's different marketplaces to buy NFTs. There's like a marketplace called Rarible, which would be considered like the supreme of like, it's like you can't just upload it. Like they have to like find you and be like, you're dope.
So
like,
it's curated.
It's curated. That's the key to every NFT marketplace is the curation.
Okay, so it's almost like art spaces or art galleries have kind of taken over in a digital space, and they're like, we want to showcase your art. So it's still got that same vibe of exclusivity, and I'm learning so much right
so
now.
Watch this. So tell us about the last art show you did. Didn't you?
Oh yeah, so I got invited to an art show by this place called NFT Oasis, which Tony Robbins actually is an investor of them now. They just got like a $4 million investment, and so I submit my work. And you put on a VR headset, and if you don't have a VR headset, which you should,
like I don't have one,
but they're like pretty affordable now.
But wait, it's in your phone now. Like you could literally slide your phone in, right? Google Cardboard, and like you can VR experience it without the headset. That's like the good way.
And so
I'm learning so much. I'm getting old or something.
He's like your brain.
What?
Just...
yeah, this is like how. I'm sure my mom feels when I need to show her something on a computer. Okay, I'm learning.
So if you put on the headset, you pretty much get taken into this world that they've designed. So instead of like a building, it's like the last one they made was like this like ice structure in the middle of like the mountains, like the icy mountains, and like the art was just like all in the ice structure. And I was like, so you'd walk around with you get to create a character that looks like you, and you walk around and you could talk to people, you could like chat with people, and then you just look at art together. And they did a show, like a walk where like there's a curator and he like walks you through your every artist stuff, and they get to present it. So I got to present mine, and it was like really dope. And if you don't have a VR headset, they also stream it on Twitch. And you could also go on your computer and just like do that. But
so you're hanging out at home with that headset, and then you're like live talking to other people as if you're in a space. Wow.
Meeting the artist. And
so cool.
It was really funny because the night before I was like, damn, what am I gonna wear? And it doesn't matter. I could just go in my underwear and just present to a bunch of people.
No
We'll
one
never
will
know. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm okay. I've got to look into more of this because I definitely didn't know any of this was really functioning. Like to me, I feel like it's been an idea,
right?
You know, like, oh, I can go on virtual reality soon, you know, but it's happening now. Like now is the future. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and it's not like super. It's actually a little early now because like still like the average person doesn't know what an NFT is. Like I remember like 5-6 years ago when like there was the other Bitcoin boom, and I was investing in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. I remember like people being like, oh, it's over now because everybody knows. I'm like, no. And I was like walking in this like hotel lobby, and I asked like the guy behind the desk if he knew what Bitcoin was, and he didn't. I was like, when he knows what it is, then it's over.
Right.
So like same thing with NFTs is like most people don't know what it is right now. So it's actually a great time to adopt it and get in early. And it's like people still don't like really know like what it is and what it can be used for yet. But it has like a lot of potential. So I don't think anybody's too late. I think it's like a great time to like learn about it and be part of it. And if you're not even an artist, you could just be like Jake Paul and buy this like monkey JPEG for $40,000 and sell it for $350.
Cool.
Like you don't even have to be a creator.
Jeez.
So now how are artists getting involved? Like music artists? Wasn't there like an NFT music?
Yeah, so like musicians will drop like albums that are only like NFT. Like I forgot who it was. I think it was like Korn or somebody. Like someone like really old like dropped an album where you can only get it as an NFT. As far as the music space goes, I don't think they've like really like found their footing yet necessarily because like. But I could see where it could go with like concert tickets. Oh. Like you would get an NFT concert ticket like for like Halsey or whatever, and like in 20 years that ticket will be worth like a lot of money. because it was like for an event, and it was like there's only like
that
3,000 of them, you know.
That reminds me too of, I mean, what you guys are doing here, like old concert shirts. And it's like, okay, if I want to go find like a Black Sabbath or Ozzy Osbourne shirt from whatever year, okay, if I go on eBay, that shirt's going to be like $300.
Right.
So I mean, still not anything close to 40 grand, but it's almost like that concept of just, hey, I went to this event in this year. This little kid that loves this artist, like, I'm going to get that Halsey ticket. I'm gonna make money.
Or I'm gonna get that Wikum NFT before.
That's exactly. Exactly. So how did you get into film before? And did that kind of lead you to digital art, or were you always doing digital art and then you found film by accident, or what was the story? I've just always
been a computer nerd, like just obsessed with technology, and like I was just like never into like sports. Like I would just like stay home and like learn Photoshop while like the other kids were like playing basketball, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny because like I was going to make this meme where it was like it's like artists back then, and it's like this guy with like a curly mustache and like a toupee and like a canvas and like a paintbrush, and artists now, and it's just some like hipster dude with like a button-up shirt, like with glasses on a laptop, on a MacBook. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like changed, and like it's like hard for people to like accept that. Like when digital art first started, like it's like, oh, it's not painting, it's not music or whatever. Like even in the music industry, they're like, I like acoustic instruments, and like what, like who cares?
Yeah,
what it is.
Even creating that through Logic or whatever is like, oh, but it's not the real thing. It's not the same art form. Yeah, and you have to like almost get so accomplished in the digital space to prove that it's music of its own kind.
Right.
Like,
and like art is going to evolve, and so are the tools. Like, you know, I love painting and I respect painters, but like I want to do like the new shit, like whatever's new and like happening now is what I'm interested in. Like I've always loved contemporary shit. Like in film school, they want you to watch like a movie from the 1950s and then watch like a movie, like a contemporary movie. But I mean, I respect like, you know, like Citizen Kane, and I love Stanley Kubrick and all that stuff, but I want to know what's happening now. Like who's making waves now? Who's gonna be the Stanley Kubrick 50 years from now? Because when he was popping, people probably thought he was, you know what I mean? Like when he released his most famous movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, people were like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
They couldn't even like process it. But now it's like one of the greatest movies of all time. So I want to find that now, like before it becomes the thing. And that's what I've always been obsessed with, is like, but yeah, how I got into film is just like, I have this weird, like, it's probably like considered mental illness where I watch the same movie like over.
No, I do that too. I have that same mental illness. Yeah.
Like I tell my friends about it and they're like, are you okay? I watched Tenet, I think like 7 or 8 times since it came out last year. I've seen Avengers Endgame like 8 times. I've seen The Dark Knight like in the 15, 17 times. And I've just been, because every time it's like reading a book again. Have you ever read a book like the second time? You like find new shit. Yeah. Same thing with watching movies. So I've just been obsessed like forever with like movies, and then that led into digital art. And I was watching YouTubers and TikTok, like not TikTokers, Viners. Like I've just always been obsessed with the digital age. Like we live in I'm so grateful to be born today, where we're in this like the birth of this new era of like art and like media and entertainment, where like everyone has their own lane. And I don't know, I think it's just really dope. And it's just
the knowledge is so accessible, right? Like you can learn anything.
Yeah. It's almost like no excuse to not learn it when it's right there at your fingertips. Yeah. Super weird.
So wait, what have you done on the video stuff? Like what are some cool projects you've worked on?
Right now I'm DPing a pitch for a documentary about a Swarovski designer who like designs like these dresses for like Miley Cyrus and like Madonna with like Swarovski crystals, and like how he designs it. That's pretty cool. And then I'm working on like music videos here and there. But to be honest, I've been more focused on like TikTok. Making like TikTok content, because it's crazy, because you could make the best video with like a $6,000 6K camera and upload it and get like 300 views on YouTube. But you make like a video with your phone on TikTok and get like 3 million views.
Well, what was that guy too? I don't know his name, which I apologize to that guy, who made the like Ben 10 superhero TikTok. Did you ever see that? But he had kind of like made himself into different characters. He was basically like an editor. It was kind of in the same film space. And then Disney saw his TikTok and they hired him right out the gate. And he was just out of film school, you know, like looking for a job. It was a quarantine. Right. And he was like, okay, I'm going to create myself as Ben 10. So he like went like this and then did all of the CGI himself and then like made himself morph into Ben 10. And it was like a 2-minute TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he got hired right off the bat.
Yes.
So like put you out there.
Yeah, similar story with this guy who made like, I don't know if you guys watch The Mandalorian. I don't, because I have beef with Star Wars right now. I love Star Wars. I have beef with like the new
I can't justify paying Disney their fee. Like
it's just like their executive producer, Kathleen Kennedy. She's like money hungry and like completely like doesn't know how to handle the IP and. But if that's
right, that's how you feel.
We got beef.
Yeah. So, but in The Mandalorian, like spoiler alert, in the end of the second season, they bring back Luke Skywalker and they like de-age his face, and and they make him look like he did in the original trilogy because he's like really old now.
Wow.
And the guy who they like released it, and then this one YouTuber redid it using deep fakes. And like did it better than the show did, and it went viral. And then Lucasfilm hired him as the executive facial design artist.
I love it.
And I works at Lucasfilm.
Right.
Is that crazy?
Whew.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. So TikTok is your lane. You fuck with TikTok?
Yeah. Well, not for my own shit. Like really, I just like now I mostly make content for other people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know the bag is secured, and that's my own shit. I don't have time to like do my own shit. And honestly, when
I did have a video hit 1 million views.
You did?
Yeah, 3 million.
No big deal.
Get it right.
Right.
I was like,
that's when I checked.
It's like hard though because like after that, I feel like Soulja Boy or something, you get like one big hit, and then after that,
so was it music or what was the video?
Oh my god, it's like kind of embarrassing, but it was like. It was like about how so Pornhub deleted 70% of their content.
Okay.
And they went from 13 million videos to 3 million videos in one day. And ever since I was like 15, I had like a collection of bookmarks and like all of them became useless one day. And I was like venting to the camera about how pissed I was, how stupid it was. And then like nobody knew about this happening. Everybody was like, oh, that's why my bookmarks work. It had like 30,000 shares and everybody started sharing it to everybody. And people started hitting me up and be like, bro, I saw you talking about Pornhub on TikTok. And like that night,
your honesty right now too. It's like
I got 20,000 followers in one night just because that video. Was like really
Meanwhile, as an artist, he's over here creating, spending hours in the lab, putting it out there for like 30 people to see it.
But isn't that always what happens? It's like the one time where you're like your blood, sweat, and tears doesn't like make you famous or like doesn't put yourself out there, and it's like the same concept as like Duchamp, you know, like I think he was like having a hard time getting into art galleries at the time, like and then he did the upside down urinal, and that was like it means something.
Welcome.
And then Dada came, and it was like
so till then, Wikum is my Pornhub friend.
I know, the Pornhub guy.
Right.
That's your legacy now.
I know. It is kind of annoying. It's like you put all this work into like high level art, and then I don't know, but it also says something about like society and what people want and like.
Yeah, it says like the average kind of like. I don't mean to say like average intelligence. I mean like average exposure, I guess, to art or whatever it is. Like an average person not knowing it. It's like, what can we all like? It's like that's what mainstream is. It's like it can touch everybody. Everybody can understand it.
Yeah.
Whereas like the high caliber art, it's like only a select few people are even gonna get it, I guess.
Until like after you die.
On that note, what's like an unskippable album for you? Yeah. What's an album you just won't skip through?
Yeezus.
Okay.
Masterpiece.
Right.
Rodeo, Astroworld, Channel Orange, Blonde.
Okay.
Yeah, those are unskippable.
So how about this question? If your life was a Kanye West song, what song would it be?
Ooh, it changes.
Okay.
It depends.
This morning.
If I'm like sad and like struggling, this morning, probably on site.
There we go.
On site, yeah. But yeah, about like the art thing and being appreciated, I think like a big thing about art right now, or actually just art in general always, is context. So like when you go, there's like a reason like art, this is just like a theory, but I think that like when you go into like an art museum, it's like designed like a very plain way, so nothing takes away from like the piece. And when you go there, you have the intention of seeing and appreciating like high level art. So when you put it on your phone, you're putting your art in the context of like Kylie Jenner's ass and and like a selfie,
right?
Of that you're putting it in like the context of like shit that's not art. So like people aren't in the mind space to like appreciate it. You don't go on Instagram going like, wow, I really want to like see the next Mona Lisa. No, you go on it mindlessly because like you're like in the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like it's hard to like, but TikTok works because it's like this like quick fix of like attention and like energy. And so in order for like digital art to like really succeed, someone has to design something that like creates a healthy context, digital context for art. Like maybe an Instagram that's not, you can't upload like, so it's not about you.
Right.
It's like only about shit you create. You know what I mean?
Get it done. You heard it here first. You're gonna give people ideas.
Yeah,
they're gonna take.
And that's what SoundCloud did. They like created. They're like, this is only for like artists that want to make music. There's no like selfies on there. It's just like that's what it is. So that's what you go there to see. And now people just blow up off of it. So I wish someone could make an app that was like for visual art that it did what SoundCloud did for musicians. Like imagine SoundCloud for visual artists. That's a great idea.
Right. No, that would be really dope.
You heard it here first.
Right. Because then we go on the VR headset, you know, and now you really,
Yeah. So I think that's the issue. The main issue is context.
And then like the contrast of it too, like you were saying, it's like, here's an ass. How can I like see, like if it's Kylie Jenner and then it's my like beautiful art piece that took me hours.
Yeah.
It's like some people, well, I guess, it's right. It's like, what is like an individual person's viewpoint?
Right.
It's like that individual person is like, I like seeing butts way more than art too. So it's like every single person online is a consumer. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're right, consumers as well. Yeah. And it's like what you're talking about, like people go on SoundCloud for specifics.
Right.
Yeah, so it'd have to be like, hey, like if you want to use this platform, you gotta love art.
Right. Tumblr kind of did that for me.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Tumblr.
You know, where like I would just subscribe to a few really cool artists or meme makers and just go down that rabbit hole and stay there.
Yeah, that was such a cool space.
I think they're onto something with the VR space thing, because like if you go to an art, I love going to like modern art museums when I travel. Like I went to one in New York and they had like a bunch of Van Gogh, like obsessed with Van Gogh. And like, what do people do? They like stand there and they just like stare at it. And they're like in this like quiet space where everyone's like kind of like talking quietly, and it's like lit well, and they're just like standing there like looking at it. You can't like, versus like you just see it, like just keep scrolling.
Right,
it's just like out of your mind. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think VR is the answer. I think an app that like somehow figures out a way to give you that like art show experience in your phone would be like a game changer.
What do you think about like a museum that had screens up that was displaying, like, is that an option to kind of combining it?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's already like on its way.
Yeah.
But if you could just figure out the phone thing, you would get, versus like 1,000 people at your art museum, if you could get like 1 million people like looking at that app, like you could get even more, you know?
Wow, so the attitude is you go out there, you buy a bunch of really dope NFTs, and then you host your own art shows with your collection.
And sell tickets to your own
art
show?
And be like, this is my NFT collection. Put on your VR headset or walk in, and we've got like TVs with beautiful old frames on them.
Yeah.
That just, right? Because that's how you would display an NFT on a TV screen.
Yeah.
This is the future, because it's like, okay, like the Vanderbilts or whoever you're thinking of that were like, I had my huge house back in the day, like my huge art collection, like, but I have my NFT collection now. It's like...
So wait, I saw in your bio that you have like learning to lose on there. What's that about?
Oh yeah, so I'm a partner at a company called Learning to Lose, which is it's like tattooed on me, LTL right there. And that's a brand that my old boss at the production company he started, which is about like clothing that and posting on social media when you're not doing good. It's like it's a reaction to the idea of everybody looking perfect on social media, like with the Facetunes and the Lightroom and the Viscos, like and then also like you're only posting the good parts about your life. You're not posting when you're doing bad. So it creates this false narrative for you that everybody else is doing good and you're like not doing good. So we post when we're not doing good, and we're being honest about life, and like, oh my god, I'm going through this like breakup right now, and I'm like fucked up over it. Like Greg's seen my videos, I like talked about this like breakup I went through openly, and it was like some people like it was like, like I don't understand why he's posting this. Well, it's because those people can relate, and then people would message you, be like, dude, like I've been going through the same thing, and just like watching your stuff like helps me. So that's the goal, and that's my boss has like 500K. He just broke 500K on TikTok just doing that.
Wow, nice.
And he's like an ex-drug addict, so he like talks about being sober, and his wife's not, and like it's like their whole dynamic of like he just posts when he's not doing good. Yeah, you know.
See, I love that because I think that's why recently I've actually been off of Instagram mostly, and I've been kind of finding within this quarantine period more interest in Twitter because it's ideas and it's like just people having these moments or whatever they're thinking. And a lot of the times too, I've noticed that narrative, it's like people are so quick to assume that one thought or one post is like your entire being. So they're like, screw you, I don't agree with that, or like they become emotionally attached to an idea when it could just be information for information's sake. So I love that you're doing that because I've always been quite honestly like terrified of showing when I'm not doing well. You know what I mean? Because I have had people come towards me and like come at me or whatever it is. And you don't want to cause that. Like it's a day where you're like, oh crap, like now I'm feeling shitty or whatever. But to just be open about that and to like not let it be so taboo. And that's what like just personally being on Twitter, it's like, okay, I'm scared to share this thought, but I'm gonna share it and see if somebody else like can resonate with it, and if they don't, screw it. It's like that, taking that taboo off. So I love that because I think that a lot more people would like be more comfortable having tough conversations. I've noticed that we've kind of stopped having tough conversations unless it's like podcasts or form, you know what I mean? Like it's very hard to do that on Instagram stories or on Instagram posts. Like people are so ready to like jump down each other's throats, and I don't know, I admire that. I guess that's
you do get hate too. Do people ever come up and like
see, that's what I'm saying. It's so crazy.
My boss Patrick Ridge has like accounts dedicated to like recording his videos and then writing shit on them. Like he's a piece of shit.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's so wild to me, like how dedicated people are to that. Like they don't want to have tough conversations. They don't want to look at it, and they're gonna dedicate their whole life to being like, screw that person.
But those are almost like super fans, no? Because they're digesting his content like in its entirety, word by, you know, they're just super fans.
Yeah, facts. And that was what I recently realized too. I don't know if you know the guy Jordan Peterson.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed.
I am too, and I had been like for years hearing that this was some sort of alt-right figure, and then I go and I'm like, what the hell? Like this is why we're so like confused on the internet, is because we edit things, we have people dedicating accounts to being like, this person is like towards the, you know, like just making up rumors, and it's like just, you know, still being free enough to put whatever information out there without getting, you know, without caring.
It's kind of what started cancel culture, is like it's cancel culture started justifiably with like, you know, guys like Harvey Weinstein who like deserve to have their whole life like ruined and their career taken away, and like Bill Cosby. But then it like kind of turned into this like white knight complex where like people started looking like Aziz Ansari, for example, like he got canceled for like taking a girl on a date and like made a move on her and she wasn't down, and he called her an Uber home. Career over. Master of None season 3, he's not even in it.
my
such
gosh.
a good show.
And I love
show.
Aziz Ansari. Like he was,
and he was like canceled, and the reason is because it's like going back to everybody trying to look good on the internet. So when everyone has looking good, people make one mistake, and it's over. Like you're a terrible person, and like that's a really big issue because like I don't know if you guys like Euphoria, but they had like a COVID episode where it was just Zendaya and her AA sponsor just talking in a diner. And he was talking about like the concept of like redemption, where like we live in a world where like people make a mistake and they're like, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit." Like, and everybody tells you you're a piece of shit, so you're like, "Why change? I can't change. I'm a piece of shit." So now we live in a world where no one's trying to change and no one gives a fuck about like redemption, which is kind of what our brand is too, is like forgiveness and like what Kanye's trying to do with bringing DaBaby and I almost said Charles Manson again. Manson. is like redemption is like, and forgiveness is so like forgotten now on the internet. Like, it's just like, but you feel good when you cancel someone because it gives you this like moral superiority. Like I'm so much better
I'm doing better than that person.
But like there are some like I don't know. I guess now that gets into like really deep like ethics and philosophy is like is there such thing as an irredeemable act? You know. Or does everybody deserve a second chance? I don't know.
Well, theoretically, everyone deserves a second chance, right?
Right.
In theory.
Yeah.
But the reality is different.
Sometimes it's hard to like, give someone a second chance.
And all of our compasses of like what's right and wrong differs for each person. So it's like, which compass are we using for the general public?
Right.
So it's like, I declare that that's wrong. But then other people are like, I don't think anything's wrong with that. So, you know, it's this whole like...
And they should be okay with thinking that, right?
Yeah.
Which is,
But we're not.
Right.
Yeah. So that's like hopefully what Learning to Lose can do. We're going to have a meetup at the Milk Room soon. We like sell merch and we have a good fan base that like appreciates our stuff, but it's still not like reaching like the youth culture as much. It's reaching like a lot of like older people because there's like more mature and like it's like hard to like penetrate that message into like young people because you have to like package it in like a cool trendy box.
I think like I've seen, if anything, this is just my personal like what I've noticed is that what I love and also what I think kind of holds back Gen Z, like young Gen Z, is like they're so ready to, you know what I mean? They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, which is great. But at the same time, it's so like label driven and so like political correctness driven that I understand what you're saying. It's like hard to get that to kind of seep into that culture to be like, hey, like maybe like let's hear this or this.
Are you
like,
Gen Z?
I'm actually a millennial, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm 28.
28, okay.
Yeah. But I think more like young Gen Z, like more like
I'm the first
14,
year
15.
of Gen Z. I'm the year that stopped being a millennial and became Gen Z.
1996.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you're mature.
Yeah. I'm kind of. It's like dope because I can like fuck with millennials and Gen Z, but then it's kind of weird because I don't like completely fit into like.
Oh, it's so different too because it's like I feel like up until maybe 2002 or something, even up until then, it's like we were still going outside as kids. We didn't have phones, we didn't have TikTok and like Instagram, and then it's like
I still
now.
wasn't going outside.
Yeah, you were on the computer.
Right.
I think I was playing like Nintendo 64.
Oh, right.
That was me. It's like Nintendo 64. I loved Neopets and like played all of that stuff.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Those always died. Like I tried to have a Tamagotchi.
Didn't work.
My Furbies, after a while, like, oh my God, I had a Furby and it would like in the middle of the night go, or like make noises. I remember throwing the Furby like so scared. Anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, I basically all I'm saying is I appreciate what you're doing because I think, again, like I love knowledge. Like if anything, I could say personally I'm on like the pursuit of knowledge.
Right.
And I think that if we don't have hard conversations and tough conversations, then we do everybody a disservice. And like we create this like walking on eggshells environment. And I don't know, to me that's lame. But that's also my like definition of what's right and wrong. Like we were talking about.
Yeah, but Gen Z's kind of they have their like interesting. They're kind of dope because like they've made TikTok what it is. Like
for sure.
like Instagram is like everybody looking good, like models, and everyone's like, you know, at the best party ever. And then TikTok is like an average girl without any makeup in her room, like talking about like some hard thing she's going through in a joking way with like a cool sound.
Right.
And it's like more relatable. And it's like I see like a lot of my friends who are like really like pretty girls like on Instagram, like popping, right? And they go to TikTok and they just don't have any followers because because it's like more than that. It's like what do you have to say? Like how are you relatable? How are you like being honest? And they are like TikTok is like a pretty honest app where people like they don't
almost too honest, right?
Yeah, it's like they don't want to like show they don't want their friends to see their TikTok. Like you have your own little secret little fan base, which like I kind of do. Like I used to post my TikTok on my Instagram, but like I like kind of like don't anymore because like I want to push boundaries of being like really like honest. About things that if I posted on my Instagram, those people would see it and it would like cause beef or whatever.
Right.
So like I want to like just like double down on honesty on the TikTok and like let that grow. You know what I mean?
Because I jump on his TikTok sometimes and I'm like, should I call this guy and be like, are you okay? Like, bro, like we gonna be all right, you know? But I appreciate that. But I appreciate that because it allows me to be like, wow, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay for the universe to be like, we gonna get through this.
Yeah. And it's just a moment in time.
Right.
Like, that's the other thing too. But I guess as well as like, it's almost like a diary. You know, you can go back and be like, yo, I've really come far.
Right.
Or like, you know,
from
it's almost like
days to look at me now.
That's your legacy. Like, we're just gonna keep putting that out there. It's like, that's the one thing.
That'll be the description, the Pornhub guy.
It's like vlogging, like the concept of a vlog is like a video diary, right? Yeah. But why are you like in your diary? You're writing like everything. That's personal. You don't want to show anybody. But like a vlog is like the opposite. You're only showing things that you want to show everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, what if you did like the opposite of that and you just like showed everything to everybody? You know. And I
that'd be a really cool project.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing with Learning to Lose and with what Pat's really like. Who else is really doing what Pat's doing?
You're basically, oh my gosh, if you could get the type of setup as like the Kardashians, but without picking and choosing scenes.
No, that's really funny because we're literally doing that. We have a show.
Great.
We have a show that's like based on his life and his marriage, and like I edit it and I kind of direct the editors and shoot it a little bit. And it's a show. It's a reality show. We have like a production company that's interested in selling
true reality show.
Yeah, like I have like the tag when I market it. It's called the first real reality show.
Boom. And we'll throw a link in the description.
Where it's like real and like even though the Kardashians does get pretty real to their credit. Like I saw this clip of like Kim crying about her and Kanye's divorce, and it was like really sad, and like all the sisters were crying. But at the same time, they don't delve into enough realness. Like,
I mean, it's hard to do that too on like a 30-minute episode where like E is trying to pick you up. You know what I mean? Like they want people to be entertained.
Yeah, these like old networks, these like old people are like attached to like this like old idea of entertainment. You know? Yeah. So it is hard, which is why it's dope on YouTube. You just do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. I canceled my Netflix and doubled down on YouTube. Yeah. So like YouTube gets my money now every month.
I literally haven't been able to find something on Netflix, which sounds ironic because there's so much content. But like I'm like about to cancel, cancel my membership. Yeah, because I'm like, I just watch the same stuff over and over again. My mental illness comes out, and I just watch the same shows. Right. So I'm like,
so wait, what's the show you're watching right now?
Don't judge me. I love to rewatch Harry Potter over and over again. Just like because then I'm like, oh, magic. But the same thing, I find new things in it, or I like because I have stuff in the background. It's mostly like it makes me happy just because that was like my childhood. Like the music specifically, like I'll hear it in the background while I'm working on stuff, and say I'll like take a glance at it, and it's like a new scene that I didn't really put effort into watching before, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that like film shot or whatever. There's that. It's embarrassing.
Right, so you're a Harry Potter nerd.
Yeah, I know. There's that. I love to rewatch like Pretty Little Liars again because it was like something I watched I like to watch things that I loved as a kid or a teen. And I think it just keeps me like nostalgic because right now it's like most of my time is spent working. Yeah. So it's like it kind of keeps me in my like kid space, which I don't know. I guess it's healthy, right?
That's
like,
healthy.
Yeah. Keep me as like a little kid. Right. So little things like that. But yeah, that's as much as I'm willing to admit. Oh, also Coming to America is one of those videos or one of the movies that I've watched probably like into like the 30s.
That's
like
just a classic
I know.
comedy.
And it's just so good and funny.
Yeah. There's this guy on TikTok called Holes TikTok. He'll watch the movie Holes every day until Shia LaBeouf watches it with him. And I think he's seen it 364 times now.
What a beast.
And he just keeps going. Right. But he got the kid that played Zero. You know Zero from the movie?
Yeah.
That actor, I think, is going to watch it with him. So he's like getting close to Shia LaBeouf. Like, if he does, that'd be sick.
So Shia is like a cultural, like, he's one of those, like, unrecognized icons to me. He's like one of those people that
recognize it.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. He also is in that, like, speaking of cancel culture, he's in that, like, weird gray area of, like, is he canceled yet or not? Like, I don't know if you saw that stuff with FK Twigs.
Okay.
But they had their whole thing that was really bad. Like, he was accused of being abusive. And then accused of like going out and shooting stray dogs.
Damn.
Like to prepare for whatever that movie was, where he was the hitman.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like this weird thing where like Shia LaBeouf is in this like gray area of like, do we like Shia or not?
Well, what is it? Is it like guilty until proven innocent? Is how we're operating right now, right?
Yeah, and I feel like we're almost at like, oh my gosh, I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, but that's kind of how we're operating too with COVID. It's like we're sick until proven not sick, or like we're guilty until proven. Yeah, so we're kind of in just this cultural like.
So on that note, what are you looking forward to? No, it's all good. What's something you're looking forward to? So like Don the Drop today.
Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
A trailer just dropped, right?
It got more views. It broke world records for like most views in a day.
Wow.
It beat Avengers Endgame, which is kind of... And I've been watching videos and rumors about that trailer since December of last year.
So like, where would you go watch that movie? Like, what's the setup for you? Like, do you have a theater in mind?
Yeah, I have my friend group that we watched Endgame, and we were like screaming when we watched Endgame together.
This is like the 10 times you watched it, right? Is this the one that...
No, the first time I watched Endgame was opening day in theater.
Oh, wow, okay.
So like we wake up and like get tickets, and it was just like literally one of the best experiences of my life.
I love that.
But the new one, the new Spider-Man, they have, I don't know if you guys have seen like the old ones with like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, those are the ones.
They're bringing back all of them into one movie with like all the villains. So it's like this nostalgia trip.
Right.
And it's like, it's going to be insane.
They're like, just put it all in there. We're just going to call this a stew Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I love that. Because then it gets all these generations of Spider-Man lovers.
Yeah, because it's like doing the multiverse thing where there's like, they're saying they're from a different dimension. And Doctor Strange like fucks up the multiverse, and he brings all... And they show Dr. Octopus from the 2004 movie, like 20 years later, and they de-aged him. And it's so...
See, the de-aging stuff like... trips me out because it is so perfect.
Well, wait till that hits social media.
I mean, it kind of already has.
Yeah. Because
are kind of crazy.
Aren't they?
Yeah, like the ones that like get your eyes like a little blue. Like, even on TikTok Live, without even asking you, if you put your hand in front of your face, it shows you to like makes your eyes bigger and like your face. It
cleans you up a little bit.
I didn't even press anything, bro.
TikTok's like, let me help you.
Yeah, let me just help you out. I'm like, the fuck is
this? Right.
Yeah, it's like so fake.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like really crazy. And that's why I made like that NFT. I can show you. Did you see the Facetune one I made?
No, that's it.
We could pop it up on the screen. But yeah, I made this. It's like in 3D software.
Oh my god, that's actually really funny.
That's
funny.
Show the Travis Scott one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is the one I showed at the art show.
Oh. I see what you do now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess I should have shown this earlier.
It's okay. I liked
But yeah, so like I made Kylie Jenner lip fillers.
Right.
Exclusive pink syringe. This syringe is pink.
So this is what my friends do in their spare time. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
There's the DM condoms I made.
This is a favorite.
That one did pretty well. And then there's the Joe Rogan male enhancement.
Right.
Oh wow, that's funny.
DMT and alchemy based formula. If you watch his podcast.
I do now. Yeah.
He has an amazing podcast.
Jiu-jitsu
stuff. Yeah, I put a kettlebell in the background. So yeah.
See, somebody had said that to me a while back. They were like, "Oh, have you watched Joe Rogan? Like, all he does is talk about jiu-jitsu." And I was like, "I don't see it yet." But I wasn't like listening like consistently. And recently I've been, because I realized it was on Spotify. I don't know how I was telling you about this before we got on here. And then he's like, in Texas now, he's like, there's a ton of jiu-jitsu gyms. There's a ton of jiu-jitsu gyms. And he's like all about it. I'm like,
cool. Right. I kind of wish that he didn't move to Spotify, because even like he logistically, like he lost a lot of followers.
Yeah.
And like a little bit of influence, but like, I mean, they gave him $100 million. I
mean, you can't.
It's like hard to say no, but like he was doing something like really special by like being this unbiased, unfiltered like spokesperson in the media. But then they bought him. He sold out a little bit, but like
I think he's feeling it though. You know what I mean? Like I think he's wanting to get out of that.
Yeah. Like, was it worth $100 million? Like Do you want $100 million, or do you want to be like Howard Stern on crack?
Right. Yeah.
Like Howard Stern, like of the internet, like a fucking icon that smokes weed with
awesome people.
Yeah. And like an Elon Musk and like Jordan Peterson, you're like putting on these like intellectuals on, and like is money more valuable than influence? I don't know.
Well, it obviously is.
Yeah.
Money is influence.
At the same time, like it's $100 million,
right?
You know,
right? Like, how much you think Kanye's gonna make with this album run? Like, what's he up to? Like 7-10 million now?
I saw 12 million, but that was like an approximate estimate, and it's like that was before the album even dropped.
Right. Money is so ridiculous right now. Like the amount of it that's flowing out there.
Yeah. Because of the internet.
Right.
We live in the wild
and
west.
And the stimmy check.
Facts. It's like the gold rush, the digital gold rush.
Yeah.
Wow.
With in, I think it was some European soccer team. They were doing like their finals or whatever. I'm like very not well versed in sports like at all, but like it came down to like the goalie kick, where like you know when they have the people stand in front of you to like get in the goal. It's kind of like a free throw shot of soccer, and the two people who were doing the final kick to like win the championship were like black, and they like missed them both. So they lost the championship. So they got all this online hate, this like racism, and like it was just like bad.
Right.
And then Idris Elba, the actor, was like, "Yo, we need to like stop this like anonymity on the internet because it allows people to say shit that like they shouldn't be able to say. Like, so we need to start like registering profiles. Like, you can only have a Facebook profile if it's associated with your ID,
right?
So that it's you. Like, you can't just.
So I know people that refuse to go on Facebook because they already do something like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
and verifying it's you.
Like you. I don't want to hide behind people to be able to hide behind user 75552 and just like say the worst shit ever. You know what I mean? And I think that's the future. I think they're going to start registering people. It's stupid. It's like it even went as far as the prime minister of I think Britain, like they collabed with all the tech companies, and they like found the people that were saying racist shit and fucking arrested them.
Wow.
Because they don't have like freedom of speech.
Right. They're like,
so they just like put them in jail.
Oh my gosh.
Which I think is super dope. Like, I wish they could do that here, but I guess it's like hard with freedom of speech and stuff like that. But like, I think that's like the future is like everyone's gonna have to be registered on the internet, which you should.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it was dope to have you. Yeah. And we're so excited. I learned a lot because I'm in the dark ages of NFTs, and now I know more about the internet.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And where can people find you?
I guess I'll plug my TikTok.
Yeah. Cool. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, we'll put the link on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so they can find you there. They can find you on Instagram,
TikTok. Yeah.
Or shopping at the Milk Room.
Or shopping here. Yes.
That's your milk room.
Right. All right. Thanks, Wikum. We love you.
All right. Bye, guys.